Hey, what's going on, everybody? Doing my bull elk hero mount. This isn't a tutorial. This is just kind of my first one, and I'm kind of going off a lot of what I saw on other people's videos and whatnot. So, kind of what I'm doing right now is just I got the eyes out. I got as much skin off, the jaw off, as much meat as I kind of felt like putting in the time, honestly, because I got a lot of it off. And I just got my buddy's little tank. It's not a super huge tank. I honestly don't even know how many like quarts or whatever it is. It's probably, I have like a shrimp boil one that obviously looks a little different, but I think it's around about the same amount of quarts. I think it's a 32-ish. But really anything, it seems like, to be able to fit the head in there nicely. And I think that'll do it. So kind of what I'm doing is I'm getting it to a just under boil, throwing in a bunch of Dawn, because I guess that helps break down all the fats and all the shenanigans in there and whatnot. Like I said, this isn't a tutorial, so go easy in the comments on, you should have done this, you should have done that. I'm just showing you guys kind of what I did. So just as soon as I get this thing just under a boil, I'm gonna drop the head in for an hour. I'm probably gonna put in about that much Dawn, so like about just a little less than half a bottle, and just kind of see what happens, see kind of where we go from there. And then I got my in-laws power washer, so hopefully be able to get a bunch of stuff off after the first go around. So stay tuned. So here you can kind of see my setup. Like I said, I got this water pretty dang full. There's about 1.5 inches, but I got this thing totally flat in the bottom, and you can see there's still just a little bit of fur sticking out, but I think it'll soak it up and cook it off pretty well. I say cook it off, boil it off. Propane tank set up, a bucket with some more water and a stick. And then I just got it laying in there nice and balanced, and with mine it just kind of worked out to fit. All right, well, we got the first hour down, and I gotta say it's already starting to clean up pretty decent. I think this power washer is gonna get a whole lot off. Let me and you can see I've already kind of geared up for the first power washing sesh. Got my eye pro, because I'm not trying to get some elk nastiness in my eyeball. But yeah, check this out. Still pretty steamy, obviously. Just took it out, let it rest for a sec. But yeah, man. You can tell already that it's starting to peel back some of that nasty gunk. I think the fur around those is gonna come out pretty easy, and if it doesn't, I think it looks like I can take a knife to it pretty easily. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped about off the bat. You can see the nasal cavity is already starting to clean out pretty decent, and yeah, let's see what we can do. So you can see that it cleaned up pretty dang good. All up in the nasal cavities, pretty dang good. Tiny little bits in the back that are just like super hard. But yeah, got it pretty well cleaned out. So the next step is to hit it with this Salon Care 40, just with a decent sized paintbrush. I kind of went with a paintbrush that was big enough to get in there, but also small enough to kind of get some of the nooks and crannies. But gonna hit it with one coat of this and leave it for about an hour and then wash it off and kind of see where we're at with the whiteness. I'm not trying to get it like super crazy white. I kind of have always liked like the rustic kind of look anyways. So we'll be back here in a sec with the coating. All right, we got the first coating on there. You can see it's kind of still gloopy and gloppy on there. Trying to cover every bit. I'll probably get some of that just like big clump off. But yeah, I'm gonna let it sit for about an hour and then rinse it off and kind of see where we're at. I'm a huge fan of this hanging system because I know a lot of people are like, wrap the bases, but I found it extremely easy to just be careful around them and not have to do all that process. Obviously I'm lucky to have this little contraption, but yeah, we'll see what we're looking at in an hour. I also heard that if you leave it out in the sunlight with this stuff on, it really does the trick, and it's finally warm and sunny in Denver. It's been a while since that's been the case. So we'll kind of see what we're looking at in an hour. Let it sit for an hour. Came and wiped it off, washed it off with some hot water. Got all the kind of excess stuff off of it, and now I'm gonna let it sit here in the sun and dry out. And I'll say it looks a little bit whiter, nothing crazy. But like I said, I'm not going for like super white, so it's kind of right where I want it, and maybe even drying in the sun will help it kind of bleach out just a little bit more after having the stuff kind of soak into the skull. So hopefully that'll give it a little bit of a whiter look, but it's looking good so far. So check back in, and maybe I'll give it an hour out here and let it get some good direct sunlight, and we'll see where we're at in an hour, but it's looking good. All right, final product. Looks pretty dang good if you ask me. That is about as white as I wanted it to get. It's fairly white, but not, bleached white. It's not at all what I was going for, and I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. So yeah, I think success. So just kind of a quick recap. 3 sessions of a 1 hour boil, or not boil, 1 hour in the tank at 180 degrees ish with dish soap, and then the pressure washer, and then did that 3 different times. After each session it had dried out, so I didn't do it just back to back to back, because I had a work trip to Austin, had other stuff just come up, so it was kind of like every other day, every couple days is kind of how that went down. And then the Salon 40 cream color, not the clear one with no concentrate powder or anything like that, just the straight up cream. And then kind of went around it twice, so a good solid layer, and then let it sit for an hour. Let it dry outside in the direct sunlight. I don't know if that had anything to do with anything, but it seems to have come out good, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. And yeah, now we're gonna find a place to hang it up and kind of call it a day. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching this video. The usual, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Appreciate you guys, and see you on the next one.